0161, the area code for Greater Manchester. To me and you, these numbers mean nothing, but to Nico O'Reilly, these numbers represent home, belonging, and with it, responsibility. When Nico O'Reilly stepped onto the Wembley pitch for the Carabao Cup final, getting a start ahead of a much more experienced Ryan Ait-Nouri, no one, not even he, could have guessed that come the final whistle, he'd have scored not one, but two decisive goals to bring the trophy home. Both goals of a similar manner, both from the same spot, both expected of an experienced midfielder, not an academy graduate playing as a makeshift left back. Just when you think Pep Guardiola is out of ideas, he dominates the champion-select Arsenal in a final with a 21-year-old midfielder at left back. This isn't just a testament to the greatness of Guardiola, but a huge indictment on the quality of Nico O'Reilly. O'Reilly came through the Man City Academy and signed his first professional contract with the club in late 2022. He was a captain in the U18s team and a mainstay in the youth ranks. The quality was noticeable, and for someone like Pep, a player of O'Reilly's quality, no matter how old, will only be a matter of time before he cements himself in the team. O'Reilly made his senior debut in the 2024 Community Shield tie against Man United as a midfielder. Yes, this kid came up as a midfielder through the academy, but due to his large frame and his technical ability, he is able to play across positions. A huge asset to have. He was a mainstay in the Man City squad that season, regularly starting in the cup competitions and then getting good minutes here and there. He eventually signed a 5-year contract at his boyhood club and delivered immediately. In a December Champions League tie against Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid, it was young Nico O'Reilly who stepped up and scored the winner at the Santiago Bernabeu. It's not crazy to say City in the last 2 seasons have been far from their best. They spent a lot of money on big money signings, some of which have settled well, and some haven't. But the quality of Nico O'Reilly makes him a player of huge value that Man City got for free. So who is Nico O'Reilly as a player? And why does Pep seem to have given the keys to this 21-year-old? O'Reilly is the epitome of a Pep Guardiola player. Technically gifted, composed under pressure, positionally intelligent, tactically astute. When you see the way O'Reilly glides with the ball, the composure he has under pressure, his physical presence out of possession, it's not exactly highlight reel worthy. It's not going to get you on your feet like Ryan Cherki's brilliance would, but it is effective, it is dependable, and with the way the modern game is heading, you would benefit so much more from having a Swiss Army knife like Nico O'Reilly than without. What's impressive is that for someone who came up through the academy as an attacking midfielder, he holds his ground really well as a defender. He's not a liability playing a left back. He's a solid option for both ends of the pitch going up and down. He's played as a 10, as an 8, in a double pivot, and now playing a left back. He doesn't force a pass, he doesn't scream for the ball, he doesn't command in his presence, but he is silently becoming one of Man City's most important players, a pillar for the coming years, with or without Pep Guardiola. He carries the ball not in a flashy, step-over heavy manner, but in an effective, purposeful way. He passes the ball not like a Toni Kroos, not like a Rodri, but much simpler, and sometimes simplicity is all you need. Man United's former midfielder Fred once said, "I hold the piano for the artist to play." That seems to be Nico O'Reilly's role at the moment. In many ways, he is the anti-Cherki. Cherki, by all definitions, is the exact opposite of what Guardiola wants in a player. He is super flashy, plays with flair, plays with arrogance. O'Reilly plays with a calm, effective presence. They balance each other out very well. 2 young players for Man City to build on going forward. So what does the future hold for Nico O'Reilly? Right now, he's playing as a connector from left back, inverting into the midfield, arriving late in and around the box when in the attack, keeping things moving across the left side. The next step in his development is to have more influence on games. Right now, he is a cog in the machine, which is a valuable role, yes, but when the likes of Haaland and Cherki and Foden are delivering, City needs someone else to step up. And O'Reilly has the quality to be one of those players. Not a 10, 15, 20 goal a season player, not a prolific playmaker, but a jack of all trades. People forget that the jack of all trades quote in its entirety goes, "A jack of all trades, a master of none, but oftentimes is better than a master of one." O'Reilly doesn't have a defined role in this City team yet, but he is delivering when called upon. He is chipping in where he needs to, contributing across the field. We've seen Pep previously use Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva in a similar manner, playing them as false 9s, wingers, 10s, and 8s. Silva has even played deep in midfield next to Rodri, and a few times even a left back. Perhaps O'Reilly's jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none nature is more of an asset than a weak point. If he goes on to have half the importance and half the value that Bernardo Silva has for this team, then we are in for another all-timer of a player. He's received a call up to the English national team for their final squad before the World Cup. Clearly, he has impressed Thomas Tuchel. With Luke Shaw left out and Kieran Trippier not in the squad for different reasons, the left-back berth for the World Cup is wide open. Right now, it's between O'Reilly and Newcastle's Lewis Hall, who himself is having a landmark season and is also on the radar of Man United ahead of their big summer rebuild. Newcastle's right-back right now, Tino Livramento, can also cover left-back, but I would say it will come down between O'Reilly and Lewis Hall. It's going to be a very interesting battle to watch them both play very well for their respective clubs, potentially playing as Manchester rivals if Lewis Hall makes the transfer to Man United, and challenge for the left-back slot for the World Cup and beyond. These are both young players, both super talented guys, and it's going to be super interesting to see who comes out on top. City have done it again. They have unearthed yet another gem of a player, this time from their own ranks, and unfortunately for everyone else, this is just the start. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one.